Hey there! So, I know it's Saturday and this should be story time, but I am kind of not in the mood to do story time because I'm kind of exhausted from all the traveling I've done. And another reason is I had no internet today. It's actually Saturday as I am recording this, and usually, I record it 1 or 2 days before I upload it or have to upload it or publish it. But today I just wanted, with all the traveling, I just thought, okay, I will record it on Saturday morning and yeah, upload it. The problem was that I need to use gameplay from Rechyyy or however you pronounce that. So yeah, and this morning I had no internet. I just didn't have internet. So yeah, I wanted to do this little rant here about my internet provider. So for the last couple of years, I think for the last 5 or 6 years, I had the same internet provider, and it's actually a horrible internet provider. I won't name him because, it's against the law in Germany, basically. So yeah, I had the same internet provider, and the thing is, I always wanted to change him, but I couldn't because, there are not that many internet providers in Germany. If you're living in a small area, you are most of the time forced to have a specific internet provider. There is, for example, I think it's called T-Online. Is it called T-Online in the US too? I think so. And that's the biggest internet provider in Germany because they have been around forever. And there are so many others, and I'm not on T-Online because they are the most expensive ones. It's just a fact. You can get the same deal you get, with them for half of the price everywhere else, basically. So yeah, T-Online isn't an option, basically. So they are available everywhere, and if you are living in small areas like I usually did, there are not so many providers available. I think in this area there are 3 providers available. The one I have, T-Online, and a third one, but the third one I can't use that because they actually have very good pricing, but yeah, they only have half of the connection that I have now, and my connection now is pretty bad. I'm supposed to have 16 megabit, yeah, 16 megabit, but I have around 10, and they tell me that it's with the cables and all the stuff in the ground, it's impossible to get the actual 16 megabit, whatever. So yeah, that's bad, and the other one they would offer me something like 6 megabit, and that's just not, it's not worth it. Even for half the price, it's not worth it. And I can't change the provider, anything else. And in the town I was living before, while I was at the university, there was actually a possibility to change to another provider, but I couldn't because I have a 2 years contract with this provider. And when I moved, the first time when I moved to the city where I was studying, I had to, how do you call it? I had to make the contract for another 2 years in order to move the internet connection. And that was just, I don't know, it seemed a little bit like they were forcing me to keep it. And yeah, they basically forced me to keep it. So yeah. And I don't know, when I decided to move here, to work here, I had to redo the contract again for 2 years. So I think at the end of this year, the contract will end, but I won't be able to, go to another provider because, as I said, there are only 2 other providers here. And that means I will be stuck with this provider forever. And their support is just, the only way to contact their support basically is by telephone, and it's very expensive if you call from another network than their own network. And of course, if your internet is down, you don't have their network because, it's voice over IP. You only have a telephone connection, basically, a voice over IP connection when your internet is there. So that's kind of, I don't know, it's not very nice. But yeah, and of course I have issues all the time, like, the connection will be out for, I don't know, a couple of minutes. That's okay, and it's lagging. My ping isn't what it's supposed to be, and my upload is horrible. But yeah, I could live with that. But today I had no internet for 4 or 5 hours, and that's just, And, when I was talking to them on the phone, they had no idea what the problem was. And they treated me like I was an idiot. I told them, yeah, I checked that and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I checked all the checks, and I actually looked into the configuration of my router, and it tells me that this and that is a problem. And they're like, oh, you actually know what the problem is? We gotta look into what the problem is. We will call you in a couple of hours. They actually never did. The internet just came back and they never called me again. Like, hey, we fixed the problem, but yeah, he doesn't care. We don't care. We won't tell him what the problem was. But yeah, so now I got internet again, and this was just a little internet rant. I'm sorry. And next week there will be story time. I just, it didn't fit into the schedule today. And yeah, I'm sorry for the rant, but it just had to be done. And this was kind of story time-ish because I told you about all my internet provider problems. But yeah, so that was it for this video. I'm iLostLink, signing out.